In this lesson, I'm going to use a file called cars.csv. Basically, reading data from a CSV file is similar to reading from a text file. However, CSV is different in shape. Reading a CSV file means to read each value separated by a comma individually. First, we should import the module. Second, we open the file for reading. Third, we use the CSV function called reader to extract all the data and connect it to reader object. We called it my data here. And the reader object actually contains all the data together, so we need to read them individually. And for that reason, we need a loop. This loop will read the data row by row. Let's run the code. So the result shows that each row is read as a list of strings. Let's construct a table from this data. So let's start with the header of the table. So this is the header of the table, and I used the 6 here in the format. They are used in order to keep constant space for each title. So in this way, we guarantee that each title will be in a separate column in the same distance, in addition, of course, to the tab special characters in between. Then we want to format the print. So we print every item read from the file with the width of 6, so in order to fit the width defined for each column in the table. And we added the end variable of the print with empty string, which means that each item should be printed in the same line on the screen. And we added an empty print in order to print the next line when we are going to the next row. And finally, we close the CSV file. Let's run the code and see the result. Mistake in spelling. Format. Okay. Writing data to a CSV file is a straightforward process. In this process, we use two CSV module functions. Writer, which gives us the writer object, and then the write row, which writes lists as rows inside the file. Of course, we shouldn't forget that the access mode should be W in the open function. In this program, we are going to open the file in the writing mode. The function writer will connect the file through the file object CSV file and will define the delimiter, which is comma. Comma is the default. You can use other types of delimiters like semicolon or space. And then we call the function writeRow in order to add directly the rows to the file. Each row is added as a list. Let's test this code. So as you see here, that the function writeRow transferred the list to the file, to the CSV file in the CSV format. Notice here, for example, the first element or the first item, which is a string, is written here without quotation marks. We're going to follow the same steps if we have multiple lists. For example, if we have a big list of cars where each car has data as sublists, let's test the code. Let's open the file. Notice that the data of the Mercedes we have added before has been overwritten because here we used the W or write opening mode. So we can append it to the current file in the same way, but by setting the opening mode as A. and now we change W to A.